How are we doing, everybody? Apologies for the lack of content. I know it's been a while, and I said on the last video that I put on, I think it was the last one, that it'd be 2 videos every week, and I have failed miserably. I've just been so busy with bookings. It's just completely taken over any chance of me getting any new content uploaded onto YouTube. And the same thing goes to my Facebook page as well. There's been less live videos on there. If you do follow the Facebook page, you'll understand why. Bookings have been through the roof, and I mean insanely through the roof. My booking calendar's here in front of on the computer screen behind my phone at the moment. I feel like I've got one booking slot left for the end of August, and then I'm going to be putting the rest of the booking slots on for the rest of the year. But I've gone from 4 pairs a week down to 2 pairs a week, and I did that deliberately so that I can have an additional couple of spaces every week for smaller repairs, such as tone arm repairs, audio cables, same day repair for audio cables and replacements, pitch controls, pop-up lamps, that sort of thing. The problem is it became more busier by doing that, because instead of having 4 individual pairs of turntables every week, it turned into 2 pairs of turntables and then half a dozen audio cables to repair, pitch controls, etc. So that idea went back to the drawing board, and I've only just managed to get back up to date. So as of now, it is strictly 2 pairs of turntables every week. It is a 2-week booking period per every customer that books in. So if that gives me enough time, if any additional parts are required that are not here available in the workshop, I can get them ordered in. So we've got 2 weeks for each booking. And the additional time that is left over, if and when it ever becomes, then I can start working on my own projects and then start taking on these little odd jobs and bits that people want me to do. So like I've said, repairing, replacing audio cables and pitch controls, etc. while you wait. Because it's very rare that I get an opportunity to actually offer this. And the majority of people that contact me with issues on audio that I know is a very straightforward fix, I cannot say like I used to, just bring it down to me on a weekend, drop it down to me on the morning, you can wait while I do it, and then you can be out the door. I just physically cannot do this. As it stands right now, to give you an idea of just how busy things are, there are 13 individual turntables sitting here right now. For those that think I'm lying, I can show proof of this on cameras, because I know there's all different people that watch this, but there are 13 individual turntables, all belonging to customers, that are booked in for work that's been either from last week all the way up to end of next week. We've got 3 people booked in next week as well instead of 2. I screwed myself over there massively because that's going to overlap a little bit. But yeah, there's 13 turntables here that are due to be worked on as we speak. There are some horrific ones and some very nice ones. There's a pair that were dropped into me this week by a customer that's had them in flight cases since the early 90s and never used them. And they're immaculate. That's a nice touch. We then got a pair here that look like they've spent the last 60 years sitting in someone's back garden, with 2 buckled corners that there's nothing I can do with them other than replace the plimps. Arm assemblies that are snapped. We've got ones here that are sitting here and pimp my Dex boxes, which is fantastic. And I recommend anybody that wants to buy boxes should send them in these boxes. We've got a pair of gold M5G limited edition turntables. They're beautiful. They're sitting in the corner at the moment. So there will be a video on these, a before and after. I do promise you that. On top of that, today I finalised another pair that have been here for the last 2 weeks, which are literally sitting, you probably hear the bag, sitting here on a removable workbench in the middle of my workshop. They came in for a service, all the goodies to be done. That's now been completed. There's another pair here which need to be serviced, stripped down, audio cables, all the usual bits. They're all in various different stages and need various different amounts of work completed to get them up and running. There was another pair that was dropped off to me today as well, with a couple of broken dust covers, broken tone arm, very poor condition on top of the plimps, which we're going to be giving a little bit of love to, getting them back up to standard. So for those that watch this who repeatedly, this is why I turn the comments off, either feel like slating my business and just trying to badmouth me, you need to stop. You really do. Because I work my arse off on these turntables. My baby, my business is all I've done for years. Okay? This is my baby. And I take every single turntable that comes in here with high priority, top priority. I treat every single turntable here as if it was my own. Okay. Massive OCD on these decks, and anybody that comes down here to pick them up or drop off their decks will see other examples of this when they're in the workshop. And there's not one person that will leave here that can tell you otherwise. They'll all say, I either talk way too much, go on way too much, and or I go overboard with these turntables. Because it's all I do. That's hence the name Just Technics. So yes, I do apologise for the lack of content. I will do my best to upload at least something. I will try my best and keep my word to what I said before on doing 2 videos a week. It's just been so busy. And for those that watch this will probably think, well, there's not really any excuses, because for every pair that comes in, you can do a quick video before and then after. But what you don't understand is I want to do a video before and after in one video, sit there and edit that video with various different images, the internals, the external condition before and after as well, and just give a brief overview as to what needed to be completed and the observations before I started the work, and a brief understanding of what was replaced and what was required. And a lot of editing goes into doing this, and I did trial this at home with some editing software that I was using before. And it's just such a lengthy process. So I tell you, the people that do this full time, that sit there on YouTube or any social media page just doing videos, my hat goes off to you, literally, because it is not a 5-minute job. And you'll know from my videos that I usually just have the same generic sweeper that comes on the screen and goes straight into the video. Then the end of that, even doing that on video software isn't a 5-minute job. Then you got to have the whole thing set and saved as an individual file, and then you've got to make sure the audio is correct for it. There's all the different categories and things that come into this when you're making these videos. What I'm trying to say is I don't want to just have a couple of minutes of a video of me going over a turntable saying this has been in for servicing, this had pitch, trims, shader cloth, audio cables, because after a while it gets a bit stale, doesn't it? It gets a bit boring because it's the same thing again and again and again. There's only so many times you're going to be able to see camouflage turntables in the same color, or any of the same 3M wraps that you always see on a weekly basis when I used to put these up. So I don't want to just keep putting the same content on. The trouble that I have is I can't put tutorial videos on. I know a lot of people keep asking me for this, and before I disabled a lot of comment sections on a lot of these videos, they're all going to be gone by the end of by tomorrow. A lot of people are asking me for tutorials. The problem with doing tutorials is very, very simple. You don't know who's watching these videos. And I've had this so many times in the past where, I'll give you an example, there was one customer sent a set of turntables, 1210 Mark IIs, no, M3Ds, sorry, off to a competitor to have service work. He didn't know I existed at the time and sent it off to another competitor. Got his decks back, couldn't mix a pancake on them. The issues that he had were still there, and he wasn't very happy. Competitor said to send them back to him and he'd sort them. This guy, the customer by this point, had obviously lost faith in the competitor, the person that completed the work. So he gave me a call, gave him a brief understanding as to what could be causing his issue. And as with anything, unless you've got it here, it's very, very hard to diagnose something without it sitting here stripped down in bits and doing physical tests. As with anything electrical like this, it's all to do with tests, either using your oscilloscope or using your multimeter and using your schematics to read out what causes the issue. Okay, it's not as simple as people make it out to be. All right, so anyway, he gets these turntables to me. I found the issues with them, and it was a very, very simple, easy fix. Cost my customer next to nothing. I explained what the issue was on a video, and I even showed what I replaced. Next thing you know, customer gets directly emailed, saying, I had an idea. Have you tried replacing this? The competitor had watched my video and replied back to the customer, which made my customer laugh because he noticed this as well. He never asked the question to the competitor though, or put the question across as, but you've only just realised this, why didn't you think of this in the first place? And you've just sent them to me and I found the issue within about 30 seconds of looking. But it's things like this. I can't start doing tutorials. I can't go too in depth and show internals to that degree because you never know who's watching videos. I don't trust 90% of people, unfortunately, because I don't know who is watching. It's very, very difficult. It really is with this sort of business. It's extremely cutthroat. I wish it wasn't. I wish that people would understand, especially the so-called competition. There are some fantastic people in the UK who offer refurb work and Technic servicing and repair. There genuinely is. And I explain to customers all the time, if I'm fully booked, which I am, let's be honest, and you want to get things done quickly, there are people that I will recommend that you could ask if they've got any availability. People that I trust and I deal with, or I've spoken to, or I've seen examples of their work. It's not a hard thing to do. These are nice people that want to get the job done and will charge you accordingly. That's what it's all about. It's being nice to people and spreading the word. So I don't just sit here and say, I'm the dog's bollocks, I'm this, that and the other, the lord of this, that and the other. That's not me. I simply have a business here in Colchester in Essex that repairs turntables, Technics turntables, customises them, and servicing obviously as well as a standard thing. So why wouldn't I want to help branch customers out and push them to other people? Because it helps these other businesses out too. I don't know what the situation is with other people. They may be struggling because of what happened during COVID. A lot of people slowed down. People weren't getting as busy or the business that they had before. And it's nice to help push that to other people. But when you start having competitors, which I know damn well, badmouth or slate, or customers will say, oh, I've watched Just Technics' videos and they laugh or whatever. Why am I going to want to deal with these people? The thing is, some of these competitors will sell parts as well. So they've missed out on an opportunity of getting quite a substantial amount of money from me alone, buying parts and components too. It is a shame that people have to be like this, but this is how it is. I think the repair industry for Technics turntables, in my honest opinion, is more cutthroat than DJing actually is itself. And it really is luck of the draw now. You know, if you're going to get the job that you actually asked for with a lot of people, and it is a shame. But there are some fantastic people out there. Like I said, Pimp My Decks, Sam over at Pimp My Decks, phenomenal guy. He's a lovely guy. I speak to him practically every other week. He's a really good guy when it comes to the refurb work. There are other people out there, but, you know, we'll leave that as it is unless I'm fully booked. But yeah, I'll just try and be as nice and upfront as I can. One thing I've learned from these videos moving forward, especially with the whole Frankendeck scenario saga that happened. Yes, I coined the term Frankendeck. Everybody knows this by now. Kind of wish I didn't, is an honest answer to this. I really wish I didn't. All I wanted to do was offer people advice, you know, and helpful tips on things to look out for when you're buying second-hand Technics, because as we all know, these are very hard to find in extremely good condition. And sometimes when things are just too good to be true, they really are. If they look too good to be true, they are too good to be true 9 times out of 10. Things are resprayed, okay? Piblins can be resprayed. But there's a big difference between selling something as refurbished, as in, you know, refurbished and rebuilt from the ground up, and selling something as serviced, rebuilt, sprayed, or selling something as an original unit when it's not original and it has been resprayed. And obviously resprayed, to people who deal with these turntables, who have owned them for years, will know straight away if something is in original condition or not. And that's the problem that I have, is people lying basically about what they're selling. And that's the worst part. And that's exactly what my videos were trying to help with. Watching out to stay clear from this, that and the other. You know, things to look out for. If this doesn't look right, then it more than likely isn't going to be right. If you're stuck on things, you can email me and I'll respond back and offer you advice. And I still do this as well. So it wasn't in any way to harm any other business. It's just trying to put a bit of a warning out there and a heads up that people are selling these as original condition when they're not original. Yes, there is nothing wrong with buying a turntable that has had the arm replaced. There's nothing wrong with having 1200 arms on a 1210 or a 1210 arm on a 1200. It's common practice. And yes, people will change main boards over, transformers, pitch controls. It's expected. These are not brand new units, guys, okay? We're in 2024. It's more than likely that majority of these turntables that you're going to buy now, if they've been owned for years, cables fail, pitch controls fail, board components fail, and they're more than likely going to be replaced by somebody or a technician at some point in their life. But it's when you're buying these supposedly fully refurbished with parts that have been resprayed, etc., and they claim them to be original. That's not right in my book, and I would never do something like that. It's disgusting that people think they can get away with doing that. But it was just to help you looking at these different parts of turntables to show this are the parts that you need to look for. This is common practice with these turntables. These can be expensive. And again, these parts now, a lot of parts are still very hard to find. A lot of parts have been remanufactured. Again, there's nothing wrong with using remanufactured and aftermarket units, no matter what anybody tells you. So you have to do what you have to do. Okay, if you want a genuine arm assembly and you're lucky enough to have a workshop full of them, then good for you, because they're worth an absolute fortune. But if you can replace an arm tube and change bearings over and it solves the problem, it's going to save you a substantial amount of money. It's a no-brainer. With me, it's getting something working as it should with you spending the least amount of money. Not just you walk in, oh, you're going to need a new arm assembly, £250. No, that's not how it works. I don't think about the money, I think about the end result, and that is that the customer is happy when they walk in and when they walk out of the building. Okay, you have so many of these guys that they bring them in. Customers bring these turntables in, they buy them, they think they've got an absolute steal, they've bought them on eBay, they've bought them from cash converters and so on and so forth. Missing all of the feet, the arm assembly, obviously arm drooping down, broken, arm actual assembly with the support brackets all loose, pivots loose, bearings loose, damaged or cracked underneath the central section. Common practice with a lot of these decks now. And they think they're getting a bargain. In reality, they need to spend a lot of money getting them back up to scratch. I'm going to do another video going over more in depth of things to look for. So if you're around somebody's house, for an example, you could watch the video. You could look at like a bullet point list of parts that you really do need to check and look for. And these are like the red flags, for an example, the ones that you look at on there. If it matches what I'm describing or what I show you, you pretty much avoid it unless you want to start spending money having these parts resolved. I think it's a good idea to do something like this just to help people out a little bit more. But from now on, there's not going to be any Franken-deck videos. I cannot be bothered with this now. I think everyone's got the general idea on, you know, how bad this situation is in the UK with this. And they just sell for a lot of money. And in the end, whoever gets these turntables sent to them for service work to be completed on a set of decks that cost you way, best part of nearly £2,000, it really is down to the people that buy them. So you have to use your brain, common sense is to kick into play, and just look at everything before you buy it. And as I say to everyone on this video all the time, if you genuinely do find a pair of Technics that you are on the fence about buying, or you want to buy them, but you don't really know whether what you're looking at is legitimate, basically, or you're a bit unsure and you've got some photographs, send them over to my email address, sales@justtechnics.co.uk. Send them across to me and I will happily look at your link that you send me or look at any images you send me, and I will respond back to you and I'll give you my honest opinion. And on numerous times now as well, I've also arranged WhatsApp video chat return callbacks for people in the UK who are going to view turntables from private sellers or even in shops. This has happened quite a few times where they say, if I give you a call, Jay, could you walk me through a few bits? And I say, I'll do better than that. I'll video call you, or you video call me on WhatsApp when you're in the property. That way you can put the camera around the turntable. I can ask you to check this, that and the other, and you know whether it's a good one or a bad one. There's quite a few that's happened like this recently. And I've done that for years for people. I always try my best to help people out as much as I can. And I don't even charge to do things like this. I should really, when you think about it. I'll be sitting there in an evening. I'll be working here till 6, 7 o'clock, sometimes 8 o'clock. I'll get home, I'll have my tea, and the next thing you know, I'm doing a video chat with somebody who's standing there in someone's house. And I'm going through over old ground on things to look for. But I just don't want people getting ripped off. I want people to, you know, buy what they think they're buying. You know, get the end result is they put it in their card knowing what they've got isn't going to cause them any problems. And it is a very hard thing to do with old turntables. Parts are expensive. Some parts aren't made anymore. And unless you put a few quid beside, just in case things happen, you could end up in a pair of decks that are basically a money pit. And sometimes it's best just to go, do you know what? I paid that for them, out them, sell them a bit cheaper, use them for parts or etc, etc. It's the only way really to do it. But yeah, I thought I'd do a video today and upload this just to show you all that I am still here. No, I haven't vanished off. I am just extremely busy with work and my priorities and my customers, hence why there's not been a lot of content on here. And yes, I'm wearing gloves. A lot of people were commenting as to why I constantly wear gloves. And I think if you look at some of my videos of me stripping turntables down, you'll understand why. And I literally have just stopped stripping down a pair of Mark IIs so I could quickly do this video, get this uploaded, and explain to you why I've been AWOL, basically. I think it has been about 3 months. And I hate that because I love doing video content, but just the time it takes. People don't understand that I get in here in the morning. Before I even get here, I've got emails, okay? I've got emails going through. I was at one, obviously, until about a month or so ago, I was getting calls relentlessly. I'd get in the morning, on a Monday morning, the phone would not stop. People asking me questions. Those of you on YouTube that are watching asking me questions about Mark 7s, buying decks, things to look for. And they've got general issues that, you know, what do you think this is? And with the greatest of respect, I can't be doing that all day. I can't work while I'm on the phone with someone. My emphasis has to be on the phone call or on what I'm working on. You know, it's the way that I do things. So I'd stop exactly what I was doing to speak to somebody on the phone. So I'd rather have it now where people would email in. It saves me from having to spend all of my week, my working week, on the phone to somebody or many people. And I can crack on with my work and start to get back up to date, which is what I've started to do. And now I'm behind again because there's so much to crack on with now. But taking the contact number off the website was probably the best thing I ever did. I love speaking to people. As you probably all tell, I love speaking to people, but I can't just sit there all day, you know, answering calls and there's nothing from them. You could have someone on the phone for an hour asking you questions about Mark 7s, Mark 2s, and Mark 5s. Got this problem, what do you think it could be? Again, I do it all for free. I don't charge for any of this. And I've got things in front of me that I have to get done. People have brought things down. They have to be repaired within a time frame. I don't like letting people down. So that had to stop. So I get in the mornings, the emails get answered in the morning, they get answered again at lunchtime, and they get answered in the evenings when I'm back for an hour. Then I just clock off from work, and that's me done for the day. Started taking my actual days off as well. Might as well put that into the mix while we're here talking about this. So Wednesdays and the Sundays are my 2 days off during the week. Okay, it used to be just I had Wednesdays off closed on the website, and I'd still be in here working. But I recently started taking my actual days off properly. So Wednesdays and Sundays are a no-go, as well as obviously bank holidays, which I recently helped people out with as well over bank holidays. But Wednesdays and Sundays I am off. I do music production. So music production with me is usually now my Wednesdays. So I spend pretty much all day at home, locked away in my little studio, producing trance and techno music. I do development sessions with that as well, which is fantastic. I make a point of doing that every week at a set time on Wednesdays. So I know that I can't have anybody down on Wednesdays because Wednesdays I'm busy, which is fantastic as it gives me more time to do my production. So that's what happens with that. So the Wednesdays are chocking out. The Sundays are my day of rest. Sit at home, do nothing in my pants, drink Guinness, watch TV, play the PlayStation, or produce music, or spend time with the missus, right? Because she spends enough. I spend any time with me as it is. She probably absolutely loves it. Bless her. But yeah, so no, it was emails in the morning. Then it was phone calls all the way through the day. And then by about 3 o'clock, if I was lucky, I'd actually start working on a set of decks, which I was booked in for, that had to stop. So now it's emails in the morning, emails about midday, 1 o'clock, and then emails again the later part of the evening when I get home from here every day of the week, basically. Well, Wednesdays and Sundays off now. So that's what happens now. And it's the best thing I ever did, taking the contact number off. But yeah, so anyone has any questions, genuine questions about their turntables, you're more than welcome to email me directly, sales@justtechnics.co.uk. More than welcome to do that. If you've got anything, any content that you would like me to cover, again, as long as it's not tutorial based, as in-depth repairs, I'm not doing that on any video. I'm sorry, I just can't do that. If there's anything in particular you'd like me to cover, again, fire me over an email. We'll go from there. If you've got me on Facebook, yes, you can message me through the Facebook page. But it does divert you straight to the website, and it pretty much tells you to email as well. And quite recently, I've been flooded with emails and messages through Facebook, and it's very hard to keep on top of them, especially when you've got the email side, WhatsApp, and everything else with customers that I deal with. So the only people now that have my contact number, direct contact number, are people who have booked in with me, and they receive that the week before their booking slot starts. So that way they know where they're going, they've got my contact number. Excellent, best thing ever. More organised that way, and I feel better doing that. But yeah, I thought we'd just go over a few bits while I was on the video. But that's basically that, guys, really. So yeah, we've got 13 turntables here ready for me to rip apart, work with magic on, get them up to a really good working standard. Audio cables, all the usual bits, all custom made to go on them as well. Plenty of that to be done. And that's basically it, to be honest with you. My turntables, my Lamborghini Greens, are in a million bits at the moment. They're sitting, you probably can't even see it, but they're over the other side of the now clear workbench that's there, my streaming bench. They're now sitting there stripped apart to have some new bits installed when I do eventually get some time to actually do that, which at the moment isn't looking very good. Yeah, so that's pretty much that, to be honest. The workshop at the moment is a bit of a mix mash. When I say that, there's cardboard boxes everywhere at the moment. There's bike parts everywhere from my Kawasaki. There's all sorts of things going on where I've been starting my own projects and just not finishing them because I haven't got the time to do it. And if I wasn't sitting here doing videos, for an example, like now, maybe I could start things, especially on the weekend. But no, I concentrate on bookings. So yeah, if there's anything you'd like me to cover on future videos, please feel free to send me over an email. More than happy to go through a few bits like that. Anybody wants to do any collaboration videos, so if anyone out there, like I've done previously, wants to do like mini sort of back and forward videos over Zoom or just asking basic questions, you're more than welcome to do that. We can upload some content. There are a few people that I am looking to get on with the YouTube channel pretty soon, actually, which should be pretty good moving forward. One person is from Pioneer DJ, actually a previous customer of mine. Another person was also from Pioneer DJ, who is or was actually the Technics DMC champion back many years ago. Very, very nice guy. So yeah, that'd be interesting to see what happens when we do get him on as well. That'd be more like an interview video, sort of asking questions backwards and forwards about turntables in general, his favourite turntables. I think we know what the answer to that's going to be. And more importantly, why there is favourite turntables. Get to the crux of what makes him tick when it comes to turntables and the favourite parts. But we'll go into that on the next one. But no, so the next video that I will be uploading will be on these M5G limited edition turntables in gold, which are currently sitting on the workbench at the moment. I'll do a full video of them. I may have to do the before video and then do the after video at another time. In fact, I will have to do that. So we'll do a before video, go an overview of them, tell you what's so special about these turntables, and we'll go into depth with them. And then the next follow-up video for them is more than likely going to be August. I hate even saying that because obviously I'm fully booked till August, and these were dropped down on a whim for my customer when he picked the pair up yesterday. He's happy to wait. So I think we're going to do the before video first, then the after video nearer the time in August. Probably before I go on holiday with the missus. So I'd like to get them done beforehand. We'll see. We'll just see how it goes. If I can get caught up, then we'll do the video. But that's basically it, everybody. So thank you for watching this. And again, I apologise for my lack of content. Any questions on anything, feel free to reach out to the email address. Please, please, please do not message my personal Facebook page. I cannot stress this enough. I had so many people with message requests on Facebook asking me in-depth questions on Technics. You need to send these questions either to the email address or the business page. What makes it even worse is we've got people that have messaged on the private page, my personal Facebook page, and then sent exactly the same message over to the business page or vice versa. It's like I'm not responding on one, so we'll send it on the other. Or even better than that is when they send it to the business one, then the personal, then send it over to the business one. And even better than that one, we've got people that have started to send emails to my personal email address through my Facebook page. Just stop. Send them to the business page, the website, or to the direct email address for Just Technics. It's not hard, and my personal life is separate to my business, as you can imagine. The last thing I want to do when I get home, guys, in the greatest of respect, is turn on a pair of Technics or start talking about Technics. Okay, yes, I'm a DJ. I've been doing it 23 years. I love mixing and I love everything involved in it. I produce music, but the last thing I want to do when I get home is turn a pair on when I've been here since 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning, and leaving here at 7, 8 at night. It's the last thing I want to be doing. So please just take that on board, and in the nicest possible way. So comments are going to be disabled on the rest of these videos this weekend. I want them all gone. I'm sick of looking at negativity from people. Not people that are not just people putting nice comments on, so I appreciate that, but there have been some pretty nasty comments, and I want the comment section turned off. I can't be dealing with this, guys. I don't want to be responding back to it. So we'll just leave it at that. Haters are going to hate. Keyboard warriors are going to crack on and just start slagging everybody off, and you can crack on, but you're not doing it on my videos. There we go. Thank you for watching, everybody. Keep your eyes peeled for the M5G video. It's going to be a good one. I'll make sure it's a long one as well. Take it easy, everyone. I'll speak to you soon.